Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, how Cortana nearly gets me expelled from college. Liar, liar. Don't fire your senior system operator then. My computer always loses my files. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. How Cortana nearly gets me expelled from college. So I'm doing my casual helping hand labor at college, making sure all professors have backups and working CAD software, everything okay, happy, flowers everywhere. But then the Fire Nation attacked. I was done doing backups of everyone's favorite dollar glasses professor, after getting his laptop back, happy ending, when we suddenly see his superior, Mr. Angry Glasses, come in and point at me with an angry yet cold look. Mr. Angry Glasses, Crescent, you playing tech support student was funny, but now you managed to screw everything this time, pack your stuff, and get out. Me and Glasses professor couldn't get to understand what was just going on. Why was he being like that? Me, excuse me Professor Mr. Angry Glasses, but what are you talking about? Mr. Angry Glasses, you know what you did, you caused a massive security breach at this college, pack your stuff and get out. I'll let the principal know what you did. Me, but... What? Then I saw the security guard coming through the door, making me signs to stand up and follow him. I still had no idea what was going on. Thankfully our hero Glasses professor decided to stand up for me. Glasses professor, whoa, hold it Mr. Angry Glasses, Crescent did nothing like that, he's been a good student and tech support guy, you are not taking him away until we all get to know what happened. Me, please Professor Mr. Angry Glasses, what are you even me accusing of? Another teacher heard what was going on, the head teacher of the Kara. MRS Engineering, what is even going on here, what are you even doing to Crescent? Mr. Angry Glasses, head teacher, good that you are here. He pointed at me. Mr. Angry Glasses, this kid messed with the secretary's computer, now her files are lost, the screen is broken and a robotic voice is controlling it. My capacity to even was broken. First, I'm never allowed to handle computers like that. Second, it's obvious why. Third, what was that robotic voice and broken screen? MRS Engineering, calm down Mr. Angry Glasses, we need to first take a look at that virus of yours. And so, we were escorted to the principal's office, and a very angry secretary was staring at me. After a discussion with everyone involved, I was able to handle the computer. What could possibly go wrong? I was just on the edge of being expelled. So I take a look at the screen and immediately recognize it. It was no virus, no spyware, it was something much worse for everyone in the room. Windows 10. Me, professors. This isn't a virus. This is the new version of Windows. Everyone was staring at me, I sigh and look at them. Me, secretary, you installed a recommended update, right? Secretary, yes, for security measures, now look at what had happened with everything you did to the other computers. I struggled not to lose my mind, but the kind Glasses professor helped me explain the whole Windows 10 thing, and the secretary nearly cried for what she did, not the only one. So I reverted Windows back to 7, everything was still working, good, everyone was happy, except Mr. Angry Glasses, who refused to say a thing. I need a break. Update. So I did have a meeting with the board of teachers and the director, in case it wasn't clear, this is how colleges in Mexico work, or so it's my understanding. I summarized the whole story to the director of the college, with Glasses professor to my side, she was patient and hear us both, with Mr. Angry Glasses sitting on the other end of the table, she concluded it was an extremely serious accusation, and turns out the rumors were true, his attitude, and he's already undergoing internal investigation for bribery, while he's unlikely to be fired. For reasons I cannot learn about, I won't be assisting any of his classes in the future. So I'm completely exonerated of all charges, and to avoid any future incidents we are revoking all user permissions and hope to create an official IT department, I'll have some compensation for the incident, no semester payment for 2 years, woohoo, and a couple of other things. Thanks everyone for their wonderful support. Your ideas will help this college have a better future. Cheers. Liar, liar. We've been having network issues this morning across many sites. Right before the sites recover, I get a phone call. User, we're having network issues. We haven't been able to access the internet since last week. This needs to be fixed, it's getting ridiculous. I see the user is in the building across the street from me, and I did not hear about any network issues in that building last week. I would have, because their network is our network, and if they're down, so are we. So I decide to do some quick digging into the user's internet usage via the proxy's logs of the user's IP address. Me, when were you having network issues? User, all last week, I couldn't get to any aside pages. Me, was it intermittent? User, no. Me, so to clarify, you weren't able to get to any outside pages at all last week? User, that's what I'm saying. You need to fix this now. Me, so you didn't go to Facebook 23 times, Pinterest 22 times, and you absolutely did not spend 9 hours on Netflix between the 10th and 13th? User, I don't know what you're talking about, that isn't me. It must have been someone else. Now I may not be the smartest IT guy, but I know stuff. I verify the user's IP address and compare that to the ARP table, and find the user's MAC address. The MAC and IP address match perfectly with the proxy logs, so there's no way it was an IP conflict, so now I have to figure out for sure if the user was on the computer at that time. Me, were you at work every day last week on this exact computer? User, yes. Me, and you don't share the computer with anyone? User, no, I don't share the computer. Me, so you were on this computer plus /40 hours last week without internet access, yet the logs clearly show you were, in fact, accessing internet? I just want to make sure I have all the correct information before submitting this ticket. User, that's what I'm saying. Me. User. Me. Well, I'll submit the ticket with screenshots of the proxy logs, the ARP table, and your IP address. I'll be sure to CC your supervisor so she knows you had a network outage and weren't watching Netflix or checking Facebook because your internet was out. But as far as the internet being down today, we're having network issues across the board. This should be resolved shortly. User, no, don't. Me, goodbye, click. A few minutes later, I get a phone call from our web proxy admins. He's laughing his ass off about this ticket, asking me if this was a joke. I confirmed it was real life, and he laughs harder. He tells me to check the ticket because he just updated it. Proxy admin, I see the problem. Your computer must have left a connection to these sites open, and that was consuming all your bandwidth. I've gone ahead and blocked your IP and MAC addresses from being able to access these URLs in the future. This should resolve any issues you may have in the future. If there is a legitimate business need for access to these sites, please have your director submit a request to unblock these sites. Don't fire your senior system operator then. This was very long ago, my first job back in IT after a long foray into other fields. I was senior system operator for an ISP, which means 100% technical lead for everything, but the boss, we were the first 2 employees, didn't want to call me system administrator for some reason, probably because he thought I'd bail on him with that on my resume. There are many stories I can tell, but today we're starting at the end, the week I was fired. All the documentation was stored in a subdirectory in my home directory, with a symlink in the Samba share so everybody could read it. By this point I had 2 junior sysops I was supervising, as well as a couple of PC support folks. We also built PCs and supported small networks etc., who were semi-trained to fill in for phone support for the ISP etc. The reasons I was fired weren't special. The manager was a crook, and I wouldn't play ball, ratted him out to customers etc. What matters is the fact of it, I got fired. While I was being fired, one of the junior sysops, I'll call him Bob, made a phone call, and by the time I got home I had a job offer waiting on my answering machine. Cell phones weren't universal back then. That very day, the manager logged in and saw the documentation in my home directory and assumed I'd made a copy of it, so he deleted it all. This would of course become important later. 2 days later, somebody accidentally fired off an rmrf and /home on the server that contained customer web pages. They'd wiped out about 1/3 of the customers before they realized what was going on and stopped it. I was home enjoying my brief vacation, new job had made me an offer, and I hadn't accepted yet, was still making my own phone calls, when the ISP manager called me. Me, hello? Manager, hey, this is manager, I'm sorry to bother you, but, how do we recover a backup? Me, you don't fire your senior system operator. Click. Brief pause to laugh my ass off, then I log on to ICQ and hit up Bob. Me, Bob, you alone? Bob, yep. Me, WTF dude? Manager just called me. Bob, somebody wiped half the customer directories, and we can't figure out how to restore a backup. Me, docs are on the Samba share, it's step by step. Bob, the Samba share is empty. There's nothing there. Me, da fuck? There's a whole pile of docs, marked read-only to the Samba user, there's no way to delete them without going into my home directory and doing it as root. Wait, look in my home dir. Bob, yeah, it's not there, but now that you say that, manager said something about erasing a copy of the docs in your home dir. Me, LOLOHSH*T he wiped all your docs, man. Okay, here's how to be the hero. Do not tell anybody I gave you this is thanks for the call to new employer. Instructions to restore the document that contains the backup restoration procedure. That command will pull the backup docs back, then you can follow them to restore anything else you need. Wait an hour and then be the hero. Bob, will do, thanks man. Enjoy the new job. I didn't, but that's a story for another time. My computer always loses my files. Hello TFTS. LTL, FTP, blah blah. I bring you this story verbatim from my father. He doesn't have a Reddit account and just lurks. This happened a very long time ago back when floppy disks were still floppy. My father, henceforth IT dad, was working as a student employee at the computer center at his college. One of the services that the computer center provided to the campus departments was PC support. One day, an administrative assistant, henceforth admin, from the history department called with a complaint about her computer. Admin, my computer always loses my files. IT dad, okay. Can you give me any details as to what you're doing and what the computer is doing? Admin, well, every evening I save my files to a floppy disk, and then when I come in the next morning, the computer can't find my files. IT dad, have you tried a new floppy disk? Admin, of course, every day this week I've used a new floppy disk. IT dad, and you're sure that you're saving them to the floppy disk A, right? Admin, yes, after I save the files, I'll always use the dir command to confirm the files saved okay, but then the next morning they aren't there. IT dad, thinking maybe she just didn't realize where she was saving the file, but wanting to be thorough, maybe there's something wrong with the disks. Can you bring in some of the floppy disks that you've used this week for us to look at? Admin, sure, I'll bring one to you tomorrow. When she brings it by the next morning, IT dad examines the 5.25-inch floppy disk, and it looks in good physical shape, it's even in a dust sleeve, and it's a reputable brand. IT dad places the disk in a computer and tries to read the directory. The computer returns an error that the disk is unreadable. Admin, see. The computer lost all my files that I saved last night. IT dad, it looks like the disk hasn't been formatted. Let me format it for you, then you can try using it tomorrow and bring it back again if you still have problems. The next morning, the admin calls and says she saved her files the previous night using the disk that IT dad had given her, but the computer can't find them again. Repeat scene from the previous day. Including the disk unreadable error dash. IT dad, Is this the exact same disk that we formatted for you yesterday? Admin: Yes, I'm sure it's the same disk. I have a special place that I keep my current disk so I don't lose it. I even checked last night to ensure the computer saved the files on it. I just don't understand why the computer keeps losing my files overnight. IT Dad, when you get ready to save your files tonight, give me a call, and I'll come over and take a look at your computer. I'll bring one of my disks that I know works to test your computer too. That evening, the admin calls IT Dad and asks him to come over the history department. He watches carefully as the admin saves her files to the floppy disk and uses the dir command to ensure the files are there. He double-checks the directory, runs chkdsk, and even reads the disk that he brought with him to ensure the drive is working correctly. Everything looks good. IT Dad, very puzzled: Well, everything seems to be working okay, but you say that this only happens in the morning, and it's the same disk you used the previous evening? Admin: Yup, and I know because I keep it right here on the filing cabinet so I don't lose it. IT Dad: Oh yeah? Can you show me? IT Dad watches as the admin puts the floppy disk in a dust jacket sleeve, then pulls a magnet off the side of the filing cabinet and uses it to stick the disk to the side of the filing cabinet. Admin: This way I make sure that I don't ever lose my current disk.